Well, the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce, they will be hosting their annual post-budget analysis breakfast meeting on Tuesday. Early registration is now on for a gathering of some of the country's top thought leaders on issues coming out of Monday's budget presentation. On set to give us some more details, we have Mr. Gabriel Faria, the CEO of the TNT Chamber, and we have Mr. Wade George. He's the tax managing partner of Caribbean EY. Gentlemen, welcome to Morning Edition. Great to have you here.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, Gabriel, great to have you here as well. Gabriel, tell me a bit about this year's offering.
Well, what actually this year, because of the timing, we are actually moving to Movie Town, the conference hall, the Movie Town.
Fantastic.
And a lot of people are saying they prefer that because parking is so much easier. There's not going to be as much traffic.
Good.
And
it's always a good sign when you've outgrown your own auditorium.
Oh no, well, we were at Hyatt.
Yeah.
But Hyatt, again, couldn't deal with
accommodate
it on such notice.
Yeah.
And we can hold more people, and parking is so much easier.
Good.
Right? So that's something we're very happy about.
Mm-hmm. And non-members will be charged how much to attend this fantastic
non-members are charged $500.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if you take a table of 10, you get a special price, $47.50.
Good.
So I think, and members get a special discount.
Yes.
And I think we're really fortunate this year because we're also going to be focusing on energy, and we actually we have invited the minister and the Minister of Finance in the Ministry of Finance, Alison West, not to speak, but to come to the meeting, come to the session, because one of the big things we are talking about is the Revenue Authority, which I know Wade has spoken a lot about.
Yes, very important issues. Wade, I suppose in your presentation there's a lot to anticipate. I mean, given all of the fiscal challenges across the entire Caribbean, all governments are very challenged. We understand the challenges in Barbados. We know that that country has moved to the IMF for assistance in terms of shoring up their economy and making more foreign exchange available to them. In Trinidad and Tobago, though, what do you see as our critical issue as far as the fiscal accounts are concerned?
Okay, well, first of all, I mean, EY is very excited to be part of this chamber event. We've been part of it for many, many years. And it's a really great time to network with the business community and also share ideas and really explore in an innovative way what can be done for Trinidad and Tobago. In terms of the challenges, I think, Trinidad and Tobago, again, is better positioned than most of the other Caribbean territories that are still facing the headwinds of the recession. So a lot of the territories in the Caribbean are not only facing the fact that there's been a slowdown in real estate and construction and hospitality, but they're also facing challenges to their offshore sector now, which is another challenge that has recently come about from the EU and the OECD. But in Trinidad and Tobago, one of my great clients likes to say that we run a bit of a one-horse race, and the one horse is improving in its gallop, right? So energy prices are increasing, and we have better production. And as a result of that, we're starting to see slow but definitely noticeable improvement in the macroeconomic environment. Now, that is not necessarily filtered through to the entire business sector as yet, but we can anticipate that it will come. So what do we expect to see? I mean, I would differentiate between what we expect and what we hope. I think we don't expect significant increases in taxes this year. We've had increases over the last 3 budgets of this administration. We don't expect significantly more. There may be some adjustments on the fuel subsidy side, so gas at the pump, but generally speaking, we don't expect that. We do expect to understand a lot more about matters such as the TTRA.
That's the Trinidad and Tobago Revenue Authority.
That's right. Things
do you see that as an important aspect of tax administration efficiency?
Yes. So I think that we recognize that there is an element of tax leakage, and that needs to be dealt with because you cannot continue to increase rates. It becomes a very significant burden on compliant businesses. So therefore, what you need to do is to ensure that there is a broadening of the net and that more persons contribute in a fair and equitable way to the necessity of paying into the Treasury so that the government can run.
Fantastic. I mean, I'm assuming that TTRA discussion will come up on Monday, the post-budget discussion. Gabriel, in terms of your membership, what are the most critical issues that they confront today in Trinidad and Tobago from a local private sector perspective, what is that one critical issue?
Well, I would say today the thing that is most concerning to people is crime. Right? We have actually invited the Minister of National Security to attend the session. And crime, I think, because it affects all of us, not just in business, but in our personal lives. But I'm confident that I think there's a sense of hope. There's a sense of hope that we have new leadership, and we believe that that's going to have some positive impact. What we see as there's an opportunity at this session is our question and answer period, because the analysis that EY presents on the budget, I think, is exceptional.
Yes.
And of course, what Wade is able to do is now take some of that and put it into layman's terms, to have a discussion with the business community, and also answer questions. Because when you get the booklet, right, you have the information, but you want to ask a question, and this is a chance to be able to get to ask Wade a question and not have to pay.
Fantastic. Right? Wade, I may not be able to attend on Monday, but I want to ask you this one question before you go. Transfer pricing in the energy sector, do you think it's a problem in Trinidad and Tobago?
Yeah, it's certainly a problem, and I think it's a solvable problem. There is legislation already in the Petroleum Taxes Act that allows the government to act in this area, and there's also the necessity to introduce transfer pricing more broadly. And in very simple terms, what that would do is require companies to, one, report their related party transactions, and two, keep documentation on file for scrutiny by the revenue authorities of justifying those prices.
Fantastic.
And there are 119 countries in the world, I have counted, that have already established transfer pricing, and so it's puzzling to me that Trinidad and Tobago has not gotten on to the
bandwagon. We're a little behind the ball.
Yes.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Mr. Wade George of Ernst & Young, and of course Mr. Gabriel Faria, representing the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce. On Tuesday morning, bright and early, post-budget discussion, and make sure and get your tickets. They can call the chamber and reserve tables and ensure that things are in place for you and your team to learn more about what's happening with the budget and the implications of the measures being presented by the Minister of Finance. We're going to run to a break, folks, and when we come back, we're going to wrap things up. Don't go anywhere.